Hello, folks. It is Thursday, March 18th, and welcome to Uplifted. We just completed verses 1 and 2 of Romans chapter number 12. We're going to look now at verse number 3, where he states, "For I say, through the grace that is given unto me, to every man that is among you." Then he makes this statement, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. And so he's really hitting at a needed area as he makes that statement that we ought not to think more highly of ourselves than we ought. Of course, pride is a huge, huge killer, and it is the enemy of the Christian life. And if we're not careful, pride can creep in so subtly and subtly, I should say, and it often manifests itself in different ways. But ultimately, it's a focus on oneself. Some folks focus on themselves and they think that they're better than everybody. Other people's focus upon themselves causes them to fall into the trap of they think they're no good. Nobody likes them, and again, it is pride that is the root of that problem. We see that we're taught here that we are to avoid the thoughts of pride, to thinking of thinking too highly of oneself, that haughty spirit, you could call it. And generally, it results in us then having an improper view of others, whether we think too lowly of them and we think we're better than they are. And of course, none of us is any better than anyone else. Or if you think that people are better than you. And often that results in people saying things like, well, so-and-so thinks they're better than me. Really, the problem is probably in your own heart. And you think you're not as good, and so you have a problem and believe that they actually think they're better than you, when you really don't know how they think. The problem's in your own heart. If somebody thinks they're better than me, that's their problem. That does not have to affect me and where I'm at and me seeing myself properly. First Peter chapter 5, verse 5 says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time." And, the truth is, I've come to find that God can put me on the level he wants me to be. My responsibility is to humble myself before God and have a humble spirit, recognizing who he is and how good he's been to me. I just preached this past Sunday on God's grace. And I realized that my life is a trophy of God's grace, not a trophy of Dean Noonan's hard work, not a trophy of who I am. It's a trophy of the goodness of God and the divine favor of God in my life. The Bible does say, God resisteth the proud and giveth grace unto the humble. So if we're allow pride to build up in our hearts, we're not going to be in a position where God can pour his grace out upon us. Proverbs 16 verse 8 says, "Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." And I believe at the root of every rebellious act, every disobedient type of behavior is pride. The heart of pride that goeth before destruction. First comes pride, it results in destruction, that haughty spirit that comes before a fall. And so as we're thinking about this, and I wonder today, where's your focus? Is your focus on yourself? You find yourself saying, well, I should, and I deserve, and they should do this for me. You find yourself thinking that way often? That's a fruit of pride in your life. And it's not going to bring forth what we're looking toward down the road here, and that is to be under the influence of the Spirit of God, and that the fruit of the Spirit and the gifts of the Spirit are able to be demonstrated in my life and through my life. Pride is a killer. I hope today's simple Bible study was a blessing to your heart. Join us tomorrow as we get together at the same time, and enjoy the song we've picked out for you. God bless you.
There is nothing like the joy of sweet salvation, knowing that my past has been erased, and life is just a fresh and new beginning, made possible by just a touch of grace. It was the blood, oh, it was the blood that cleansed me from the inside out, giving me a calm assurance far beyond my greatest doubt. When I knelt down at the altar, heaven listened to my plea. Oh, I felt a newfound glory from my head down to my feet, and I know it was the blood saving me. Oh, I know it was the blood saving me. Oh, what mercy just to know my blessed Savior reached way down from heaven's throne to me. There is not a single debt to hold against me. The price was fully paid on Calvary. It was the blood, oh, it was the blood that cleansed me from the inside out, giving me a calm assurance far beyond my greatest doubt. When I knelt down at the altar, heaven listened to my plea. Oh, I felt a newfound glory from my head down to my feet, and I know it was the blood saving me. Oh, I know it was the blood saving me. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He sought me and bought me with His redeeming blood. He loved me ere I knew Him, and all my love is due Him. He plunged me to victory, and I know it was the blood saving me. Yes, I know it was the blood saving me.